One of the hottest teams in the country is back in action tonight from the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces. New Mexico State looks for their 16th consecutive win. They play host to the UMKC Kangaroos. It's the second meeting in just over 2 weeks between the Aggies and the Roos. The Aggies prevailed in Kansas City back on January 5th. Braxton Huggins scored 31, and the Aggies shot a blistering 51% from the field in a road win in Kansas City. And we say hello again from Lou Henson Court in Las Cruces, along with former NM State assistant Russ Bradford. My name is Adam Young. The Aggies have won 15 in a row. They have won 21 straight home games. It's packed to Pan Am night tonight. Should be a great home court advantage.
It's going to be a terrific game, though, I think, Adam. Kansas City is a red-hot team when they get hot from the three. They live and die with the three-pointer, and if they get hot tonight, look out.
NM State has one of the best bench players in the country. Jamario Jones hasn't started a game, but he's almost averaging a double-double.
I've run out of words to express my feelings about Jamario Jones. He's really exciting, great nose for the ball, incredible rebounder, just makes a lot of things happen.
The Aggies have 5 players in double figures in scoring. UMKC only has one, and that's Lavelle Boyd, who is currently second in the WAC in scoring.
Well, he's a Chicago native that's made remarkable improvements. He only averaged 3 a game in junior college his first year. Now he's averaging 19 a game in Division I. He can really get hot from the three-point line. He can really warm up.
NM State is trying to stay undefeated in conference and win their 38th in a row at home in WAC play. Meanwhile, UMKC, middle of the pack right now in the league. They're trying to go over 500 in WAC play. It's the final game of a 3-game homestand for NM State. They seek their 18th win. Aggies and Roos, we have it for you next. And Sioux trying to win their 22nd straight home game. Also trying to win their 38th in a row in home conference games. They entertain UMKC this evening. All things are good right now for the Aggie men's basketball program. Paul Weir, the first-year head coach, and his program right now ranked 3rd in the latest mid-major top 25 poll. They have won 15 straight games, and right now he has the best record among all first-year Division I head coaches. It has been a smooth transition from being an associate head coach under Marvin Menzies to now being the head coach of this program. And his lineup hasn't changed in a while. As we mentioned during the open, Jamario Jones, who's almost averaging a double-double, comes off the bench. So it's Haley, Huggins, Baker, Wilkins, and Chua once again. Eli Chua has 4 straight double-doubles, and Braxton Huggins scored a 31 just over 2 weeks ago in Kansas City in the first meeting with UMKC. The head coach of the Roos is in his 4th year. In that huddle, it's Kareem Richardson, a former assistant and excellent recruiter under Rick Pitino at Louisville. He played collegiately at Evansville. UMKC only 12 wins last season. They already have 9 this year. And they started the year 6-2, which was their best start since 2001-2002. A nice blend of freshmen and upperclassmen for Kareem Richardson this year. His point guard is only a freshman. That's Xavier Bishop, who's out of Springfield, Illinois. Lavelle Boyd, we profiled during the open. He's the only player averaging in double figures. Broderick Newbill is having a pretty good year. He's a transfer in from Fresno State. Coach Bradford, it's packed to Pan Am night tonight. Big crowd. Aggies look for their 22nd straight home win. Your keys to the game.
Well, it's been a remarkable year so far, but the biggest thing is to defend the three-point shot. Kansas City put up a lot of three-pointers, and if they get hot, look out. They've got to push the pace, and by that I mean defensively more than offensively. They've got to really take it to them defensively, and they've got to shut down Lavelle Boyd, who's the leading scorer of the team. Really a remarkable player. He's a Chicago native. He's improved dramatically in the last 4 years.
You mentioned defend the three-point shot. The Aggies did that extremely well just over 2 weeks ago in Kansas City. UMKC was 3 of 15 from 3 in the first meeting with the Aggies, and New Mexico State is holding opponents to a league low 30% from 3. So Kansas City shoots it well from the arc, and the Aggies have defended the arc extremely well.
That's right, and I think it's going to take a great defensive effort by the Aggies to get to the three-point shooters, particularly, again, Lavelle Boyd, who can really light things up.
Broderick Newbill and Jonathan Wilkins will tip this one up. Ronnie Hernandez, Rob Kruger, Wilson Helland, our officiating crew. And the Aggies have the first possession here in the home whites. Coming off a comeback win last weekend against Bakersfield. They were down 9. They beat Bakersfield by 5, though. Wilkins fires a 3, and he swishes it in. Just his second made 3 this year.
Nice and easy. He's got a soft touch. Sometimes he seems like he's hurrying it, but on that time he got his feet set under him. Looked great.
Kansas City has a freshman point guard. Xavier Bishop's out of Springfield, Illinois. He was a 2-guard in high school, so this has been a tough transition for him from 2-guard to 1-guard collegiately. Deshaun King to Lavelle Boyd, lets it fly early. Edwards tied 3-3. He can shoot it. 54 made 3s now for Boyd on the campaign.
Well, he made 7 in his first Division I game against Minnesota. As we see Ian Baker slice to the basket.
And for UMKC, Lavelle Boyd has really had to pick up the scoring. Martez Harrison, one of the best players in the entire league, only played in 6 games this season after getting kicked off the team. So Harrison no longer with Kansas City, and the role for Boyd has expanded. Turned over, and here comes Jermaine Haley.
Well, that's why I call him the sheriff. Adam, he can really lock people down, and it forces Kansas City to already take a timeout.
Tough environment here to play in, and Kareem Richardson wants to make sure his team slows down a little bit here in the early stages in the first minute plus.
But they look a little bit nervous, although they've played some good teams up to this point. But that's why I love Jermaine Haley. He's so active defensively at his size. He can guard a smaller player, a bigger player.
Jermaine Haley missed a good part of the early portion of the season. His first game was against UNM in November, and ironically, that was the last loss for the Aggies. So I think you see right there the impact of Jermaine Haley that he's had both offensively and defensively on this program.
That's right, and we saw him make a few three-pointers last televised game, so he's made tremendous improvement, but boy, can he cover ground defensively.
You don't see very many 6'7" mid-major guards, and that is what Jermaine Haley stands at. Bishop to a curling Deshaun King. Averaged 8 points per game last season, only 4 points per game this season. Bounces out for Newbill, and he swishes in the triple. Roderick Newbill with his 9th made 3 on the campaign.
And he's a Kansas City native, but transferred in from Fresno.
This offense for the Aggies has been in sync pretty much all year. Wilkins fakes the pass, floater left short, tips it out. Step in 3, Huggins, yes sir.
Really heads-up play by John Wilkins. He couldn't grab the ball, but he hit it to Braxton Huggins. And if you leave Braxton Huggins open, that's what happens.
He's been one of the best three-point shooters in the country. Turnover on Lavelle Boyd, overthrew Xavier Bishop.
Well, nobody's improved. There might not be a guard who's improved more than Lavelle Boyd in the country. Averaged 3 a game in junior college as a freshman. Now he's averaging nearly 20 a game in Division I.
Baker off the mark on the pull-up. Another offensive rebound for the Aggies. Eli Chua had 10 offensive rebounds last Saturday against Bakersfield. And Baker's fouled on his way up. So Ian will get a pair of free throws. How about this, Coach? Last Saturday against Bakersfield, you had Chua with 10 offensive rebounds, and you had Jamario Jones with 8 offensive rebounds.
But they really create havoc, you know, and I've had one of the fans ask me after that game, don't they know not to, that they should block out Jamario Jones? And it's just not that easy. You know, he's really, really smart when the shot goes up, and just and we're talking about Jamario Jones, and he's not even in the game yet. So let's stop that. There's Kareem Richardson, one of the best young coaches in the West, I think.
Baker shooting 84% from the charity line, makes both. 12-6 Aggies. NM State 4 of 6 from the field. UMKC's made both of their shots, both threes, but they've only attempted 2 shots so far today. Struggling against this Aggie pressure. And Alir Leak out of South Sudan, who just came in. He travels underneath. We're going to see Kareem Richardson go really deep into his bench. Alir Leak hasn't played a ton this year, but he's going to use pretty much everybody on his bench.
Well, always up-tempo, and he'll play 10 or 11 guys, and it makes him difficult to prepare for because he's so willing to use his bench.
Jamario Jones in now for the Aggies, and he'll apply ball screen here for Ian Baker. Eli Chua uses the window, can't get it, and it's leaked out to Lavelle Boyd. Newbill in transition, gets away with a travel, and he gets fouled down low. And Paul Weir, speaking to one of the officials, trying to say he traveled there on the arc.
Well, Paul Weir's laughing over there. I think everyone was so surprised to see him take that extra step, but he did get fouled.
UMKC goes to the free throw line a bunch. And that includes Newbill, a redshirt senior from Kansas City. Missouri Kansas City shot 42 free throws last game against Utah Valley last Saturday. That was a 10-point loss. They shot 32 free throws in the second half alone against Utah Valley. Haley working the baseline, finds Jamario, and Jones is fouled.
Jamario Jones did something very interesting there. Rather than go up to try and dunk, I think he knew he couldn't do that, so he just took a little jump and got fouled. It's really a smart play. This is what I mean. He's such an unorthodox player that he adjusted his jump in order to get fouled rather than just go up and get the shot blocked. I just think he has terrific instincts and really great, just great basketball IQ and every kind of IQ. He's just a smart kid.
And he knows his role too.
Well, that's right.
And not many guys would embrace that. He knows when he should shoot, where he should shoot from. His role on this team, which hasn't been a starter this year. He's been a reserve all year, and he's been a quality add off the bench. Matt Taylor in for the first time for the Aggies. He'll guard the inbounder, Lavelle Boyd. 13-7, high scoring early 4 minutes in Las Cruces. This ties the largest lead tonight for the Aggies. Lavelle Boyd with it, guarded by Taylor. Boyd shoots a three, but first, look at a foul called on Taylor. That was holding off on the screener, Alir Leak.
It's going to take a great effort by Matt Taylor to stay near Lavelle Boyd.
Freshman Isaiah Ross in the game now for Missouri Kansas City. He'll inbound here for the Roos. Kyle Stewart also checked in for them. Boyd curls the screen, and he's hammered on his three-point attempts. So Lavelle Boyd, who shoots 82% for the foul line, will shoot three. You're so worried about Lavelle Boyd there in the arc that sometimes your closeout or when you're leaping into the offensive player, you get a little too tight.
That's right. He went to South Suburban Junior College. It used to be every Chicago player that had to go junior college wanted to leave, but that's changed. South Suburban is a basketball powerhouse. And their coach, John Pagatti, had been a long-time Division I assistant. And they just do a remarkable job. And here's an example of it. This guy, 3 points a game in junior college, nearly 20 points a game in Division I. And he's given Paul Weir headaches already about how to stop this guy.
And he went to high school at Farragut in
right.
Chicago, where Kevin Garnett played at.
Yeah, another basketball power. And their coach, Wolf Nelson, very well known, was Kevin Garnett's high school coach.
Baker on the wing, steps back. Now to Jamario Jones. No look feed. Eli Chua's jump hook swirls out. Pulled in defensive by Alir Leak.
But they didn't score there, but I like the Aggies' patience and their willingness to work till they got the ball inside.
Leak loves the three. Missed that one shallow. He's attempted 14 now for the year. That's a big fella.
Look at this ball movement by the Aggies, and this is what I think what really marks their team is how willing they are to share the ball.
Chua can't tip it in. Into the hands of Leak again. A&M State really struggled in the first half shooting against Bakersfield last Saturday. They trailed by 9. They came back because they started to shoot it much better. Off the mark, Kyle Stewart. But they get off to a slow start last weekend in the first half offensively. Chua, the trailer, can't scoop it in, but Jamario Jones is right there to tip it in.
And he just comes out of nowhere, and there's no way he should have got that one. And there he is again.
Jamario tips it away. He'll give a high five to one of the fans on press row. He just does it all. Jamario Jones out of Memphis, 6 double-doubles in the year. He gives the Aggies a 15-9 lead with 15:06 left in half one. Win in a row. They lead by 6 here against UMKC. The Aggies coach are now 17-2, and they continue to climb the poll in the mid-major top 25. Aggies are third right now. They're ahead of Wichita State. They're ahead of St. Mary's. They're ahead of Illinois State, who's playing extremely well. Gonzaga may not lose the rest of the way in the regular season, and UNC Wilmington's having a great year.
It's really remarkable, a first-year head coach, and to be chasing Gonzaga and national powers like that. It's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be an Aggie fan, Adam.
You don't want to look too far ahead, but if the Aggies win the conference tournament out of Vegas and advance to the NCAAs, you have to think their seeding, if they continue on this pace, is going to be really good, and they should have an extremely winnable first game.
Listen, Paul Weir would strangle us if he thought we were talking about making the NCAA tournament.
I'm sure
already.
He would.
So let's not tell him that we did it. But yeah, I think all indications are the Aggies are going to have a good chance to make the NCAA tournament and get a good seeding. I think if this keeps up. It's just an exciting time. Part of what's, we've talked about it all year is what makes the Aggies such. It makes it, first of all, it's a very affordable for the whole family. It's just great entertainment for the family, but also the way the Aggies hustle and share the ball just makes them really fun to watch.
Well, we have a chance. I want to say hello to Joseph Mocha, who's the father of athletics director Mario Mocha. He's recovering from surgery. He's in a hospital right now in Phoenix, and he's watching the game tonight. Joseph, we're thinking about you. I want to see you here in Las Cruces extremely soon. So hello to Joseph Mocha, the father of AD Mario Mocha, recovering from surgery. He's doing well, and we're thinking about you, Joseph. You can tweet at us. Let us know where you're watching from tonight at NMSU Aggie Vision on Twitter. Let us know what station you're watching on and where you're watching from. Stewart finger rolls it up, no good. Wiped off the glass by Jones. Aggies will slow it down a little, just enough for Huggins. And then Wilkins keeps it alive.
Well, I thought he was going to do the same thing. But that's one of the things we talked about is, Kansas City's, Missouri-Kansas City's happy to run and gun too. But the Aggies, if they're going to do it, push the pace, they'll have to be defensive. There's John Wilkins once again.
Wilkins has buried 2 threes in the game. He was 1 of 9 from bonus distance coming in. But he has that range. On a team where you have a bunch of three-point shooters, he hasn't had to be that guy, but he can shoot it from out there, and I'm sure the scouting report for UMKC says has the ability to shoot from 3. 10 to shoot for the Roos. They trail by 9 right now. Isaiah Ross can really shoot. He's a freshman from Iowa. And now UMKC under 40% for the field. Huggins, floater 10 feet away, swishes it in.
That's John Wilkins made that play though with a nice screen and a handoff. Just really smart heads-up play by Jonathan Wilkins. He's on fire tonight, John Wilkins.
Biggest lead of the night for the Aggies. It's 11. UMKC trying to find their groove offensively. They're averaging 76 points per game for this season, but they're allowing 81, which is second worst in the WAC. They allowed 77 to the Aggies in the first meeting. Stewart from the arc. Offensive board, Alir Leak steps through. Crafty move there by the sophomore from South Sudan.
Well, just as we were singing John Wilkins' praises, he made a rare mistake. Let the Missouri-Kansas City player get around him.
Foul call there on Broderick Robinson, who just checked in for UMKC, a junior from Grand Junction, Colorado. Aggies bring in 2 new subs, Jermaine Haley and then Joe Garza, the Las Cruces native, seeing his first action tonight. Remember, too, City Endier is still out with an injury. And City Endier, when he went down with an injury, was the top scorer for the Aggies. Haven't had him for over a month. Haley launches. Good box out there by Ross, and Haley is called for a foul.
Well, Jermaine Haley with good hustle there. I hate to discourage that. He was just very aggressive going after the ball.
Substitution for the Mexico State,
Eli Chua back in for the Aggies, replaces Jamario Jones. Paul Weir also goes pretty deep into his bench, just like Kareem Richardson. And when you're missing City Endier, the bench isn't as deep. And we still really haven't seen Tanvir Boular play much of a role this season. Jalen Penny's played a little bit recently, but we haven't seen Tanvir the last couple of weeks. Bishop, the freshman from Springfield, Illinois, working on Garza. Bounces on the baseline. And there's Dwayne Clark, freshman from St. Louis, Missouri. Went to CBC High School. There's a mismatch right there, but Wilkins couldn't catch it. Stolen by Robinson. 4-on-2 for the Roos. Trying to hand it off to Clark was Robinson, but it was pulled away by Huggins. Haley to Huggins, wide open, but he can't connect. Nobody within 10 feet of Braxton. Bishop throws it away. Stolen by Wilkins. Pushing is Haley. Haley, Euro step, a finger roll, and it falls in for Jermaine.
Really heads-up play by Jermaine Haley. He's just so aggressive away from the ball and just like such a fine defender. There we see him slice to the basket.
4 now for Jermaine Haley. Wilkins has 6, Huggins has 5, Baker 4, Jones with 3. In the corner, Stewart for UMKC. Good three-point shooter for a big guy, 6'7". Robinson only has 4 to shoot. Now it's Ross, the freshman. Teardrop, shallow, gets his own miss. Stewart picks it up. Can't put it in though. And Clark regains for UMKC. Bishop traveled with it. And that will take us to break with 10:40 left in the first half. A good start for NM State. 3 of 6 from 3. Wilkins is 2 of 2. Huggins hasn't made 3 as well. And our pack the Pan Am night. It's the Aggies by 9.
Pepsi, White Sands Federal Credit Union, Route 66, Memorial Medical, and by Wells Fargo.
NM State already has 10 second chance points. They lead by 9, 22-13, trying to extend their win streak to 16 in a row. And the Aggies are also trying to go to 5-0 in WAC play. Now UMKC looking for the big upset win, trying to go to 3-2 in league play. UMKC 2 games ago got a really nice road win at Seattle. The Aggies travel to Seattle and to Utah Valley next week. And the Aggies trying to keep things rolling. They haven't lost a home conference game, Coach Brad Bird, since 2012. They haven't lost to any of the current WAC members at home ever.
Well, that's why it's one of the top programs in the West. And, it's just really a great start for Paul Weir. Great buzz around town. Everywhere I go, people are talking about Aggie basketball.
Ian Baker, a big reason why. Lone senior with his 34th made 3. Right now, this 15-game win streak for the Aggies is tied with Oregon for the 3rd longest win streak in the country. How about that move there by Dwayne Clark? A running jump hook. Aggies have a 5-on-4. Clark is trailing. Chua can't make it. Rebound, though, for Jones, who kicks it out to Baker. He's going to fight Haley. Jermaine Haley surges. And the ball's out. Rebound underneath for the freshman, Dwayne Clark. Isaiah Ross pulls up. Might have been ill-advised there for the sharp-shooting freshman. foul is called on Isaiah Ross as Matt Taylor was working towards it. There's a number of freshmen playing a lot this year for Kareem Richardson. Isaiah Ross is one of them. Xavier Bishop starts. Jordan Giles has seen some action. Dwayne Clark is in right now. He's only a freshman, so there's a lot of youngsters here for fourth-year head coach Kareem Richardson. Taylor sends it to Haley. She was posting up Clark. Has a lot of room. Doesn't go to work though. And Taylor lost it into the hands of Clark.
That's it. Now, the Aggies haven't scored the last couple of times, but I like the way they share the ball.
Ross off the mark again, and UMKC hasn't scored in over 3 minutes, but the Aggies throw it away again. Boyd, low post for Clark. He fumbled it, and it was off the foot of an Aggie, so it stays with UMKC.
Well, good help by the Aggies to bail out their teammate and not give up an easy basket.
Clark heads off, and so does Ross. Darnell Tillman back in, and Grant Leach in for the first time for UMKC. So Kareem Richardson goes even deeper into his bench. Lob it in for Boyd. Boyd, two defenders around him, shoots it anyway. Linked off the back rim, tipped out to Taylor. Baker on the arc. Tipped away out of bounds by Deshaun King. Lavelle Boyd so far, coach, has only attempted 2 shots.
Well, credit that to the Aggie defense, which has been swarming up to this point, and holding Missouri Kansas City to 13 points after 12 minutes.
Jones looking high-low. Wilkins wasn't there, though. Backdoor for Huggins. Crafty move on the reversal for Braxton Huggins.
And who threw that pass anyway? Is that Jamario Jones? I was just guessing. I suspected as much.
High-low wasn't there, so he went backdoor. Boy, great pass. And one for St. Louis, Missouri native Darnell Tillman.
Well, that's the mark of a good player with Lavelle Boyd. He hasn't been shooting well, but a nice pass.
Tillman gets a free throw when we come back as he tries to complete a 3-point play. But the Aggies have a 14-point lead, 27-13. They're trying to go to 18-2 on the season. Great programs in the U.S. The department was ranked 28th out of 50 by Great Value Colleges. For more information, visit nmsu.edu. Back with you here at the Pan American Center. They finally put the 2-pointer for Darnell Tillman, so it is now 27-15. They put that up during the break, so it is 27-15, the Aggies by 12. And this just isn't Pack the Pan Am night, Coach Bradford. This is also Sean Harrington night. There's Sean right there. He's a former Aggie. You recruited him out of Chicago. He played for you 95, 96, and he has a remarkable story.
It's really an astonishing story. He saved his daughter's life in Chicago, dove on top of his daughter during a gun mistaken identity. He was attacked at 7 in the morning driving his daughter to school. He dives on top of her, saves her life. A bullet went through her headrest, but he's paralyzed for the rest of his life. So he's down here for a fundraiser. He's had enormous medical expenses, but it's almost exactly 3 years ago now. Another pass from Jamario Jones on the back door. But really an astonishing story of courage and endurance. And he'll be featured Tuesday night on are we allowed to say where he's featured?
Yeah.
Tuesday night HBO with Bryant Gumbel is doing a feature on him.
And he played for you 95, 96. He's coaching right now at Marshall, where he played at. He was featured in Hoop Dreams.
Yeah, it's the same high school as Hoop Dreams.
Yeah. Baker has his 3 swirl out. We'll have some information on how you can donate to the Sean Harrington Recovery Fund. We'll have that for you during halftime and also in the second half. So if you're looking to donate to the Sean Harrington Recovery Fund, we'll have that information for you at halftime and in half 2. Really remarkable story. And Had a chance to catch up with him earlier today. Outstanding young man. Three no good there for Deshaun King.
If there's ever anyone that's deserving of the Aggies fans' help, it's Sean Harrington.
He was in Chicago when the Aggies were there a few weeks ago. Got to watch the Aggies in Chicago. Taylor lays it in. Nice feed by Huggins. This Aggie offense right now is something else. A&M State almost shooting 50% from the field. They are 4 of 8 from 3. And a foul from behind is called on A&M State, and it's on Jamario Jones. A&M State's going to honor Sean Harrington at halftime tonight, and we saw right after the lineups were introduced, every single Aggie player went up to Sean and gave him a high five, gave him a fist bump. And he said to me earlier, he said, man, he goes, it's true, once an Aggie, always an Aggie.
Yeah. Well, I think we've got a great crowd here tonight. It's packed the Pan Am night, and there's people in the last rows for head coach Paul Weir. The last rows are filled all over the arena. It's really an exciting time to be an Aggie, and a great night for Sean Harrington to return.
This reminds you of 95, 96 a little bit, doesn't it? Back when there were 10, 11,000 here consistently.
Well, he was a special player. He led the team in scoring, steals, and assists before he hurt his knee. At about 5'10".
Mel Boyd's only 6 foot. He scores right there. He has 7 to lead UMKC. A&M State ahead by 12. Taylor whips it around the arc to Haley. Uses the Chua ball screen. There's a mismatch down there with Leach guarding Chua. Leach is only 6'3". Chua rolls. Baker couldn't find him. Only 4 to shoot for Jamario Jones. Almost banked that one in. Tracked down by Broderick Robinson. Lavelle Boyd from 28 feet away. He has that range. He's made those this season.
He had a game already this year where he made 7 3-pointers at him. And he made in his first college game against Minnesota, he made 7 3-pointers.
Chua trying to bounce for Jones. It's off the knee of Newbill.
That's what I love about this year's Aggies. They'll make mistakes, but they're always unselfish, team-oriented mistakes. You very rarely see the Aggies make a mistake where it's lack of effort or selfishness. And that's what makes them so fun to watch, and I think it's why the fans have really latched on to this year's team.
Only 7 to shoot for the Aggies. No reset there in the shot clock. Chua to Taylor. Fires with 3 to shoot. Jamario Jones cleans up the mess again.
Well, even on that one, that was their offensive rebound, but it bounced. It's not like he went over the rim to get it. And it just has to do with what a smart kid he is.
He was just tripped up in the backcourt, and he got back to his feet, and he was all smiles. Just loves playing the game. Spins off the rim for Tillman. Offensive rebound, Robinson. Back out to Stewart, and now Boyd will reset. Good seal down low. Darnell Tillman, he'll get 2 more free throws. He sealed off the defender, Chua.
Yeah, and great effort by Jermaine Haley, trying to help just a split second too late. But so I think that's why the Aggie coaches love Jermaine Haley so much, is he just can really cover ground. He can cover 30 feet and go help and recover and get back to his man.
Tillman, a senior from St. Louis, Missouri. Kareem Richardson has really recruited the Midwest hard. You have Bishop from Springfield, Illinois. You have Tillman and Clark from St. Louis, Missouri. Leach out of Indiana.
Well, they're all driving distance from Kansas City.
Exactly.
Which is a great town and great barbecue. It's more than great barbecue, great music history. And they had the bad fortune of losing Martez Harrison, but they've held things together, and it's a program definitely on the way up.
Their start was outstanding. They started this season 6-2, which was their best start since 01-02. They've kind of sputtered since. Only 3 wins since the start of December for UMKC. Baker posting up the smaller Bishop, who's one of the smallest players in the country. And Bishop commits the foul. He's only 5'8", he only weighs in at 150, so Ian Baker, being the smart player he is, trying to take
right to
advantage.
the basket. Yes, yes. That's one of the things we've talked about Ian Baker, about how he's calm and effective and calculating.
Wilkins left open, and he floats it in right around Darnell Tillman. UMKC has missed 4 of their previous 5 shots, and Stewart chucks it into the stands. Over the head of Grant Leach. Lead has grown to 15 for the Aggies. NM State paced by Baker and Huggins. 9 for Ian, 7 for Huggins. And guess what? Jamario Jones on pace for another double-double. We're back after this. Team with under 4 left here in the first half. It's been balanced scoring again for the Aggies, and that's a testament to their head coach, Paul Weir. There's no stars on this team. It is a team through and through, and boy, what a job he has done. First-year head coach, and his program 17-2, and in as good of a situation as anybody around the country.
Well, that's right, and we talk about Paul Weir all the time, but he's got some top young assistants with him. He's got Mark Shue, Jesse Bopp, Eric Sanders that played at San Diego State, Guy Meyer. It's really a crack, just a really brilliant young staff. And I think it was a deliberate move on Paul Weir's part. Every one of them was handpicked, of course.
And he also brought in Jordan Sperber, too, from Nevada. And Jordan Sperber is the video coordinator, but he's kind of helped in the analytics part.
Yes, a really, really brilliant mind.
Huggins using the left hand, a little too strong, snatched in by Tillman. Newbill, floater left short. Jamario Jones right there for his 7th board. Bounce pass to Wilkins, and that was a little too low there for Jonathan.
But that's an example of what we were talking about, Adam. That wasn't, maybe it was an ill-advised pass, but it was an unselfish move and a hustling move, and that's one of the things that makes this Ayers Aggie team so lovable, is that they're such hustlers and so unselfish.
LaVelle Boyd back in for UMKC. He has 7 right now. He's approaching double figures, and he's been in double figures in 19 straight games. The Aggies did a pretty good job checking him in Kansas City earlier this month, and they've done a pretty good job so far today as well. The Roos scoreless now in over 3 minutes. Here's Boyd down the lane, bounces off Wilkins, couldn't finish though. One-handed pass by Jamario Jones, and Taylor couldn't quite corral it. In transition, Ross, a quick trigger. UMKC can't find the bottom side of the net here late in the first half. They're struggling from the field.
Well, maybe Jamario Jones is getting a little too excited, but he sure is trying to push the pace, trying to play unselfishly.
At the line for UMKC, number 3, Paul Stewart, for the 1-1.
Now Stewart makes the first free throw, one of the bonus here. He's only a 56% foul shooter, but he's a really good three-point shooter. 6'7" senior out of Detroit. At his 3rd different school. Started at Youngstown State and Butler Community College. And now Missouri, Kansas City. Roos trying to inch closer. They're within 13 here. Wilkins runs the floor and slams it in. 10 now for Jonathan Wilkins.
Well, good pass by Matt Taylor, sort of waiting for the big man to come down, waited for the play to develop, didn't hurry things too much.
Newbill runs right into Wilkins. Stewart got the miss. He falls away. Missed it off the heel. And then Newbill able to put it in. Taylor and Wilkins didn't go after it. Taylor, heart of the rim. Slips off the cylinder.
Well, the Aggies would like to keep Kansas City from cutting it below 10 here.
Nice move there by Kyle Stewart.
Might not happen. It's now at 11 points, and Aggies really need to make a little surge here before the half.
Boyd bumps Baker. That's foul number 7 on UMKC. Some nice free throws for Ian. It's 10 points for Jonathan Wilkins, a new season high.
I like that one, Adam. Boyd bumps Baker. That's what in the English department we call that alliteration. That was very good.
Baker lobbing it into Chua. It was batted away by Robinson, and it goes out of bounds, but we're going to say it was last touched by Jones and the Aggies.
Well, the momentum shifted a little bit in the last few minutes. Missouri, Kansas City making a run here.
Ross gets by Taylor. Can't make it though. Altered there by Jamario Jones.
No, on that play, Jamario Jones helped, made him miss the shot, and still got the rebound. Just bounced up again and grabbed the rebound.
He's like a snake. He always comes back. You don't think he's there, and then he pops up again. And now Jones will shoot bonus free throws. Jamario's a transfer in from Hill JUCO. Late sign. That's signed for Paul Weir. Memphis, Tennessee native. And he's almost averaging a double-double off the bench. 11 points, 8 rebounds per game. You just don't see many guys around the country coming off the bench and giving you those numbers.
No, it's just a great luxury that Paul Weir has to be able to count on Jamario Jones coming in for an almost certain double-double every game.
And he also defends, racks up steals, great passer, up there in block shots. In fact, leads the Aggies in block shots with 17.
Good-looking headband.
Yes.
But he might be bleeding a little bit, Jamario Jones.
He thought about wiping it with his jersey, but that's not going to look good on white. So, the head of the training staff and get him back to action. That's how hard he plays. So whacked on the previous possession, I believe. And we're back to action with the Aggies ahead by 13. UMKC only 30% from the field. They're 2 of 11 from three. This is a team that shoots 39% from three for the year, so they've been pretty good for the year. Stewart swishes in the triple. It's his 21st make. He shoots 35%. Final 80 seconds here in half one. Big first half for Jonathan Wilkins. 10 points for Wilkins. Working down low, back out to Taylor. Extra pass to Baker. Catch and shoot, and Ian Baker now has 12 points.
Well, Matt Taylor had a good shot there, but you know, it's just time after time, an Aggie player gives up a good shot for a teammate, and it happened again there with Matt Taylor. He could have easily shot that one.
Baker with 12, Wilkins has 10. Then you have Huggins with 7. Jamario Jones has 7 as well. Boyd smothered between Wilkins and Taylor. Team foul number 9 on the Aggies. It's going to be a shooting foul though, so 2 free throws for Lavelle Pep Boyd. Nickname is Pep, listed as Lavelle. 22 last Saturday at Utah Valley, 19 straight double-figure scoring games. He's one of the best scorers in the league.
Well, that was a big part of Paul Weir's game plan, was how can they contain Lavelle Boyd.
Boyd has 8 now. Tillman comes in for UMKC. Jamario Jones back in as well. He comes in for Jonathan Wilkins. Also trying to get Deshaun King back in. He comes in for Isaiah Ross. UMKC only has 2 road wins this year, but they only had 2 all of last season. They had road wins at Bowling Green and then 2 games ago at Seattle. And then the perfect 12-0 at home. Boyd connects on both. 11-point game late in the first half here in Las Cruces. Screeners all over for Baker, splits defenders. Jones exchanges for Taylor. On the bounce to Ian Baker. Two more screeners, Chua and Jones. Ian back out to Jamario Jones. Under 10 to shoot for the Aggies. Jones picks up his dribble. Baker's going to post up Boyd. Baker with 2 to shoot. Raises the rim. Taylor goes high for the offensive rebound. And he's fouled from behind by King.
Look, great work by the Aggies. They didn't get quite the quality shot that they wanted, but they swarmed the boards, and Matt Taylor, great aggressive move to go get the ball. It was Matt Taylor who gave up the unselfish assist to Ian Baker on the previous possession.
One of the bonus here for Taylor has been great from the charity line this season, 84%. He's really improved his shooting for the free throw line. One of the things Paul Weir said during the radio coaches show this week was with Matt Taylor in particular, he wanted to find one area where he could really improve on this season. So he said in the offseason, he told Matt Taylor, you will become a better free throw shooter. That is the area you need to improve on. And sure enough, he's 84% now.
Well, that's, it seems like a simple enough thing, but part of it is Paul Weir's ability to connect with these players, that they listen to him. He's not screaming and cursing, but he's got their attention. And I think it has to do with, just a level of trust and communication that is built with these guys.
UNM State as a team now 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Boyd crosses midcourt for UMKC. Shot clock is off, and he dribbled it off his foot. So the Aggies could get the final shot here in the first half.
The Aggies have a chance to go up by 15 or 16.
That is turnover number 8 on Missouri, Kansas City. Baker's been the guy here in the first half for the Aggies. And he'll bring the Aggies out of the backcourt. He has 12. Ian is 4 of 7 shooting, 2 of 3 from 3. He's also made 2 free throws. It's a ball screen from Chua, and then he's bumped by Darnell Tillman, and that's exactly what Kareem Richardson doesn't want to happen. That's foul number 10 on UMKC, and Ian Baker has been pretty much automatic on free throws this year.
Well, he's got to be frustrated with Darnell Tillman, who's just a little bit too big to keep up with Ian Baker.
When you're hedging out there, if you're Tillman, you want to make sure Baker doesn't get an angle, but you also want to make sure you don't foul him.
That's right. The last thing they want to do is put Ian Baker to the foul line with just a couple seconds to go.
Bishop comes in for Robinson for UMKC. Baker second best in the WAC, 84% from the free throw line. He was 8 of 9 last weekend. Back end of 2 for the DC native. 14 now for Ian Baker. He is 1 below his season average already. Bishop picks it up at midcourt. Hands it off to Stewart. Nearly fell. And then regained by Ross, and he floats it in as time expires here in the first half. That does indeed count. And it's 46-33. The Aggies have a 13-point halftime advantage in front of a big crowd here at the Pan Am Center. A near sellout with the Aggies looking for their 16th win in a row. Wilkins has 10, Baker has 14. Halftime activities come your way next.
We strive to achieve
Northern New Mexico at the Santa Ana Star Center. That is on Monday, January 30th, so that game is coming up. Tickets are available now through the Pan Am Center ticket office. You can call 575-646-1420. It is not this coming Monday, it is the following Monday, January 30th, when the Aggies are in Rio Rancho. Well, the Aggies held UMKC to 34% shooting. Coach, 3 of 12 from 3. Great defense by Paul Weir's team.
Well, we've talked about it being an important factor going into tonight. Just really scrambling, swarming, team-oriented Aggie defense has frustrated Missouri, Kansas City.
And the Aggies have done a good job rebounding again. They're +6 today. They're +6 for the season as well. Individually, Baker with 14, a pretty quiet 14 for him. Jonathan Wilkins already has a season-high 10. And for UMKC, Lavelle Boyd's getting his. He has 9. He averages 19 for the year. But Boyd has only been able to get 6 shots off. He has 2 of 6 from the field. He is 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Coach Bradford, going back to your keys to the game, how the Aggies
Well,
done.
the thing is, I'm often wrong more than I'm right, and that's the problem. But I think I did okay here. Aggies did do a good job of defending the three-point shot. They were incredibly aggressive defensively, and they did a solid job on Lavelle Boyd, a respectable job on a very good player.
He got to the free throw line for 5 free throws, but he only attempted 6 shots, and the Aggies will certainly take that. Good catch by Baker, trying to break out of the pack, and he bounces off Darnell Tillman, and he'll get 2 free throws.
Well, generally you don't want your guy to go 1-on-2, but in that case, Ian Baker was so much bigger than Xavier Bishop, and then he could easily take it to the basket on Tillman, and made Kansas City pay.
Baker a perfect 4 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. Saturday in that comeback win against Bakersfield, Baker scored all of his points in half 2. He scored 13 in the second half, did not score in half 1. Came up big in the clutch. And he misfires in that one. Baker, the lone senior. So everybody is back next year. We even add in A.J. Harris, who is a transfer from Ohio State, who has to sit out this season due to transfer rules, and he's a great-looking young player. So the Aggies may really have something here, Coach. They're only going to lose 1 player,
That's
albeit
right.
a great one. This could be a little bit of a run here for some years now. Robinson to Bishop, the freshman point guard, goes with his off right hand, and he splashes it through. He's a left-hander, so he used the right hand there on the teardrop.
Well, all the way from Lanphier High School in Springfield, a traditional basketball power, and he's the latest fine player to come out of there.
And he's the all-time leading scorer at Lanphier. That's where Andre Iguodala, NBA veteran. Mid-post area, Wilkins. Mismatch there, and he hooks it through. A dozen for Jonathan Wilkins.
Maybe Wilkins' best game of the year. And, you know, I was going to say, I haven't said anything critical about Eli Chua this year because there's nothing really critical to say. He's had a great year, but he seems a little sluggish tonight. He's missed some easy shots. He's been a step late defensively, and I wonder if he's got a flu bug or a cold or just isn't feeling great because he's not his usual dominant self under the basket. But the point is that Jonathan Wilkins has picked up the slack.
That's a good point, Coach. Chua hasn't scored yet. He's missed all 5 shots. 2 to shoot for Boyd. Bishop has to hurry. Did he get it off? I don't think he did. The officials give it to him. Paul Weir's irate. I don't think he got it off. Paul Weir can't believe it.
Well, that seems like it would be a correctable error. It would just be Aggie ball out of bounds.
Baker misses shallow. Chua rips it in. Well, that on a cue, Coach.
He must have hurt me. He must have hurt me. Sorry, Eli. I'd like to apologize for upsetting you there. But that's the Eli Chua we've seen all year.
Whistle blown by one of the officials, and Paul Weir immediately said, "Please check the monitor." And Ronnie Hernandez will head that way.
Well, you caught that. I didn't catch it. I just thought there's no way Xavier Bishop is going to get this shot off. But of course, he's used to scoring on bigger players for his entire life.
There's the luxury of TV. We're going to see a replay. Boyd to Bishop, late. And that replay also plays in the arena here at the Pan Am Center. So now the Boo Birds come out with the fans.
Well,
Boyd floats it over the defender. 11 now for Lavelle Boyd, so he's in double figures for the 20th consecutive game.
boy, he's quick and strong. Farragut High School and then South Suburban Junior College. What a player he is.
Jermaine Haley finds Jonathan Wilkins. Outstanding feed, and Wilkins is up to 14. The big fella Tillman running the floor, and they overthrew him.
Well, great pass by Jermaine Haley. And Wilkins having his maybe his best game of the year.
New career high
Yep.
for Jonathan Wilkins. 6 of 7 shooting. And on a night, too, where Eli Chua hasn't done much. See, this is where the balance really helps you is Eli Chua is not going to be great every night. Braxton Huggins and Ian Baker won't be great every night. But if you have enough guys who can fill the holes on those nights, you'll be just fine. And the Aggies have been fine tonight because Jonathan Wilkins has stepped up.
Well, I think that's a very good point. Although I will say, in fairness, those guys have been great nearly every night all year. But it's nice to know that John Wilkins would step up. Oh.
Baker went down hard. That foul is called on Boyd. It's number 2 on Lavelle Boyd. And Baker is going to get a trio of free throws. It's Baker and Wilkins leading the way offensively tonight, and we haven't said that yet this year. Baker and Wilkins, it's been the combo. Ian Baker out of D.C. tested the NBA draft waters during the offseason. Pulled his name out pretty early. Certainly a candidate to get drafted here after his senior season. We talked about it during an early telecast. The big advantage and one of the praises of Ian Baker during the draft process was he shoots it at an NBA level. And we've seen that especially the last month or so. He shot it well.
I think that's right, and he has an interesting demeanor. He could go to Las Vegas and make it as a poker player. I think he doesn't never change his expression. He's very level and very consistent. He's not outwardly emotional. He plays hard without making faces. You can't tell what the score is by looking at Ian Baker.
And I feel like he showed a little more emotion this year. He's been more of a leader during his senior year.
Well, that's not a criticism.
Yeah.
I think it's part of it.
No,
He's just such a cool customer.
And he's one of those guys that won't be phased when you go to the NCAA tournament. Stewart fires. Long rebound. Gathered by Jermaine Haley. There's Baker on the wing. Gets by Boyd, and he's fouled again. Lavelle Boyd picks up his third. And that is one guy for UMKC you can ill afford to lose to foul trouble when you're trying to come from behind on the road.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
Boyd is the only player averaging in double figures for UMKC. And it's held true tonight. He's the only player in double figures tonight as well. He has 11. On the perimeter, Jones to Taylor. Taylor gets by Ross, finds Chua slipping down low.
Well, those are the kind of easy shots that Eli Chua needs to get going. A nice pass by Matt Taylor.
Danger zone right now for Missouri, Kansas City. And it's off the leg of Matt Taylor. So it stays with the Roos. Matt Taylor gets high fives from his teammates on the bench.
I mean, it's what's amazing about this team is there's guys way at the end of the bench, guys who are hurt, and they're all jumping up and down in excitement. It's just a one solid group effort. Everybody's pulling in the same direction for New Mexico State.
Jones nearly got his hand on it. Caught there by Robinson. Now Boyd surging into the lane. Crafty move off the window there for Lavelle Boyd, and a quick timeout is called by Kareem Richardson. We'll take it with them. Boyd has 13 now for Missouri, Kansas City. But how about Ian Baker? A game-high 17 for Ian. And the Aggies have a 15-point lead. Sean Herring tonight, packed the Pan Am night. Big crowd on hand. And promotion tonight, and at least before the game, it was supposed to be close to a sellout. They were expecting a big walk-up as well. 57-42, the Aggies have responded well to the big crowd. By the way, how about this score? Seattle leads Grand Canyon 37-33.
Wow, that's a great effort for Cameron Dollar's Seattle team. It's one of the interesting things about the league is there are just great young coaches in this league. And then, of course, there's Rod Baker, a great older coach. And it's just really an up-and-coming league. It's an exciting time to be around the WAC.
The Aggies will head to Seattle next Thursday, then Utah Valley next Saturday. Mark Pope has done a good job with the Wolverines, taking over for Dick Hunsaker. One of your good buddies.
Well, I just remember a few years ago, when he was able to win the WAC outright. Go on, we'll take it for you. It's commercial break time.
It's one of those weird things now in college basketball. You take the first call timeout and you also take the under 16 media. So we will step aside. It was fun being with you for 15 seconds. We're back in a couple minutes on Aggie Vision.
White Sands Federal Credit Union, Memorial Medical, and by Pepsi.
Back with you, P&M Center here in southern New Mexico, Las Cruces. Adam Young alongside former NM State assistant coach Russ Bradford. It's the Aggies ahead by 15 with 15:58 left to go in the game. On Sean Harrington tonight as the Aggies honor one of their own. Played for the Aggies 1995-96. He's enjoying this game, and he has his jersey on too, Coach. How about that?
Yeah, really exciting. He was number 20, but maybe 20 was taken.
It's Demario Jones' number, though. He'll take that.
Oh, you can't yet take it. But really great. The Citizens Bank of Las Cruces really coming through for him, and Mario Mocha. This was all Mario Mocha's idea. I'd like to claim it as my idea. The Sean Harrington Recovery Fund, 1815 Wells Street in Las Cruces. That's the Citizens Bank address. And it was, Mario Mocha called me in early in the fall and said, what can we do to help Sean Harrington? I almost fell over. I was delighted by his interest because he'd never met Sean Harrington or wasn't around when Sean was starring for the Aggies. But it's an incredible story of parental love and courage and now endurance and battles, to sort of stay afloat. And it's been only through the generosity of people like New Mexico State. So I can just see there's some Aggie fan out there sitting on the couch that won't get up and get his checkbook right now, Adam. I'm telling that guy, get up off the couch, get your checkbook, and write a check for Sean, 1815 Wells Street. 1815 Wells Street, 88003. That's 88003, Citizens Bank for the Sean Harrington Recovery Fund.
Now Isaiah Ross will get 3 free throws for UMKC as a courtside seat tonight. He's well in tune with the program. I was talking to him earlier and he said, 15 in a row now? I said, yes, sir, right on cue. So he knows what's going on here with Paul Weir and this program in Paul Weir's first year. 17-2 the record for the Aggies.
Well, it's just there's such great devotion to the fans. It's such a wonderful town, beautiful mountains, the best restaurants in the in the West, and just makes for a great place for kids to go to school. And Sean had a great time when he was here.
UMKC cuts the Aggie lead to 12. Baker has 17 for NM State. He has the ball in his hands right now. Jones to Taylor. Taylor at the head of the key. Back to Baker. Eli Chua comes out. Baker doesn't want that ball screen. He'll just rim in the triple.
No, but you could almost give Eli Chua an assist on that because just coming out and threatening the screen made the defender back off just an instant and gave Ian Baker enough room.
20 now for Ian Baker. Long pass tipped away by Chua. So it's going to stay with Missouri, Kansas City. This team is long. NM State. They're active defensively. Hands are everywhere. They're always moving.
But let's give Missouri, Kansas City credit. They've had several chances to fold, and they just keep hanging in there.
Boyd looking for Ross. Ross curls and catches. Ball screen from Leak. Ross to the rim. Floater, pinballs out. Huggins snatches it in. Baker trying to find an angle. He finds Huggins. Relatively quiet night for Braxton. He's only made 1 3. In the short corner, Jones.
Go ahead, Jamario.
A bunch of ball fakes, and he banks it in. He went to work on the freshman Isaiah Ross.
Well, he's got a smaller player on him. I shouldn't have tipped my hand, but I knew that was coming.
NM State has made 5 straight shots. Jones approaching another double-double. Boyd's 3. Wide right. Jones tips it to Huggins. Baker thought about that one right there. That's when you know you're feeling it.
Was he serious, you think?
I think he was.
Been, yeah.
Well, he checked, right, Coach? Chua picks it up in the corner. There's Taylor. Under 10 to shoot. Jamario Jones right back on Ross. Outside Huggins dials up a 3. Missed it. Strong. Chua on one leg grabs the rebound.
Well, the Kansas City looks just a little bit dead-legged now.
Braxton Huggins 1 of 4 from 3. Baker has it swirl out. Picked up by Boyd. And Lavelle Boyd scoops it through. That snaps a scoreless drought of almost 3 minutes for Missouri, Kansas City. 62-47. 13 minutes left to go in the game. Jones snatches it in, hands it off to Huggins. Stewart switches. Jones posting up to smaller Robinson. Leans in, floats it in.
Well, it's one of the interesting things that Kareem Richardson is doing. He's switching everything and every kind of screen, and so there's often mismatches. And if the Aggies weren't so unselfish, right now Jamario Jones with 11 points and 12 rebounds, and if the Aggies weren't so unselfish, they wouldn't be able to take advantage of those mismatches.
Taylor back out to a wide open Huggins. Yes, sir.
And Paul Weir wants him to even pick up the pace even more.
A&M State 7 of 15 from 3. Inside outside to Ross from Robinson. Hands it off underneath, power dribble for Leak, and he banks it in. Slithering around defenders, Ian Baker, high teardrop left it shorts. Fell down hard to the ground. Boyd in transition. Swirls out for him, and Chua clears. There's so many weapons on the floor right now for the Aggies. Huggins, one of them. In the corner to Taylor. Sagging off a little bit is Ross. Now head of the key for Jones. Look at a backdoor, Baker wasn't there. Under 10 to shoot for the Aggies. They have 4 players in double figures tonight. And fouled from behind, Ian Baker. Jamario Jones is one of those guys. Another double-double for Jamario. That gives him 7 double-doubles for the year. Baker with 20. Huggins now has 10 after this May triple. And the Aggie lead has grown to 18. Annually, thanks to an energy performance contract between A&M State and energy services company Amerisco. The contract, which was completed in December 2015, has allowed A&M State to generate 51% of its own power during the 2016 fiscal year. For more info, visit nmsu.edu. This was the Pack the Pan Am night. Student section loud. Entire crowd has been loud. The Aggies lead by 18. And the official attendance is 9,893. 9,893, close to 10,000 on a Saturday night here in Las Cruces.
That's right, and just really a great atmosphere, electric atmosphere. Sean Harrington night, and Aggies maybe the hottest team in the country right now. You mentioned Gonzaga, but Gonzaga still has to go to St. Mary's. Don't forget about that.
Very true. Jones spinning back to his left, and he draws a foul.
Is there anybody who has is there anybody, I can't remember anyone since Magic Johnson who has as much fun as Jamario Jones does. Not that Magic Johnson played for the Aggies, but he'd look good in an Aggie uniform. But Jamario Jones just plays with such joy and exuberance. It's just, but maybe needs to settle down on the free throw line. But he's been a good free throw shooter all year.
He's become a fan favorite too, and I don't know if he's at the level of Wendell McInnes, who played for the Aggies about 5 years ago. But you talk to people around town, and the first person they bring up is Jamario Jones and how exciting he is to watch. Now this is a team-first program, no question, balanced scoring every night. But if there's one guy the fans have really gravitated to, it's Jamario Jones. Kareem Richardson is riding the far side official. That's Rob Kruger. Boyd's three is on the money. Kareem Richardson was unhappy about the previous possession, the foul that was called on the Roos. Reverse layup good for Jermaine Haley.
Well, they can complain all they want to, but when a guy can dribble at 80 feet and shoot a layup, that has nothing to do with the officiating.
hesitation, and he's found on his way to the rim. He's an exciting young player. 18 points for LaVelle Boyd. Certainly should have a chance at a pro career when his collegiate career is done. There's Kareem Richardson talking to Ronnie Hernandez.
Ronnie Hernandez, an El Paso native, known as one of the best referees in the country. But he's even tempered. He's not going to. He's going to talk to the coach. And let's not undersell Kareem Richardson. He's one of the best young coaches in the country. And the program is in great shape. They've had that bad misfortune of losing Martez Harrison, but other than that, they've had a good year considering.
This is Dwayne Clark back out to Bishop. One freshman to another. Misses wide right. Into the hands of Newbill. And he scoops it off the window. Roderick Newbill, redshirt senior from Kansas City, went to Hogan Prep. Wilkins screen, gets Baker free. Wilkins grabs the miss, and he's fouled, I think, by Jordan Giles.
Well, just great all-around play by Jonathan Wilkins. Sets a brutal screen, totally clean, then goes and gets the ball back on the miss.
Well, they call this one a Boyd. Giles was there as well. That's the fourth on Chicago native LaVelle Boyd. 9:53 left.
And what a story LaVelle Boyd is. From Farragut High School, one of the top high school programs in the country, under Wolf Nelson, same high school as Kevin Garnett, and then goes to South Suburban and averages 3 points a game. But South Suburban has become a junior college power, and he just lights it up his second year. Had great patience. A lot of kids would quit after averaging 3 points a game their first year, but LaVelle Boyd hung in there and just kept getting better and better.
Do you feel like at times too there's so many great players in Chicago that there are some guys that kind of fall through the cracks and don't get that Division I scholarship right out of high school?
Well, Sean Harrington was one. Eric Channing, who came to New Mexico State as the leading scorer in school history, would have gone to Wheaton College if he hadn't come to New Mexico State. So yeah, it's a great basketball town.
Jamario Jones for Matt Taylor.
Matt Taylor makes it look easy there.
Biggest lead for the Aggies tonight, 20. They lead by 18 right now. Boyd on the wing, guarded by Baker. 10 to shoot. This is Jordan Giles, a freshman from Tuscaloosa. In the short corner, Clark. Long right-hand hook, shallow. Wiped off the window by Haley. Wilkins posting up Clark. He'll shoot it 10 feet away. Jones grabs the rebound, but he held off on Giles.
That's an old Memphis playground trick, I guess, where he's sort of holding him down with one hand and went and got the ball with the other.
Worth a shot. LaVelle Boyd takes a seat for UMKC, so where does their offense come from now? Boyd has 18 tonight. Next closest player is Newbill, who has 8. Stewart has 7. But it's pretty much been the LaVelle Boyd show for UMKC offensively, and that's been the case pretty much all year. This is Bishop, who was a great high school scorer at Lanphier and Springfield. But he only averages 7 per game as a freshman. Right back to Bishop. All-time leading scorer at Lanphier. Stewart working on Haley. Get a foul called on Jermaine. Number 3 on Jermaine Haley. Number 4 in the Aggies in this half. Crazy to think that hopefully in a week or two the Aggies will get the return of City Endier, who was the leading scorer for the Aggies before his injury.
Well, I'd say they're going to need him. You know, one of the things about the conference tournament, it's 3 games in 3 days. So we see Matt Taylor nearly steal the ball. And I think they'll need Tanvir Bular before it's over with.
Dwayne Clark finishes. Really have some impressive guard depth when he had in City Endier. It just brings a new element to the game. Eli Chua floating in the lane, receives and finishes from Ian Baker. 18-point advantage for the Aggies. Bishop blocked by Jones. Baker scoops it up, and the Aggies have a 5-on-3 if they hurry. Baker finds Taylor. Baseline for Jones. Slings it out to Haley. Jermaine Haley can't get the roll. Jones right there, though. And he's all smiles as he pulls it out to the arc.
But that was 3 Aggies turning down shots out of total unselfishness.
Matt Taylor drains the 3.
Just unbelievable how the Aggies are willing to share the ball. Matt Taylor's a big part of that. He's the first one to start thinking pass first and shoot second. And it just rubs off on everybody.
Stewart can't answer. And it goes out of bounds. We also get a foul called. And it's going to go, I believe, on the Aggies. Yep, it's going to go on the Aggies. 7:05 left to go. NM State ahead by 21 on Missouri, Kansas City. NM State ahead by 21 here against Missouri, Kansas City. The Aggies trying to make it 16 wins in a row. That would be an impressive streak for the Aggies, no question. Right now they are tied with Oregon for the 3rd longest win streak in the country. And NM State currently has the 2nd longest conference win streak in the country. Stephen F. Austin has won 41 straight in the Southland Conference. The Aggies have 37 straight home conference wins in the WAC. So that's home conference wins. Stephen F. Austin has 41 in a row. The Aggies have 37 home wins in a row in conference play. 2012. I can't even remember what I was doing in 2012. That's the last time the Aggies
Jeez, you're just a
lost
kid,
a WAC
Adam.
home game.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a long time ago. It's just been one of the great programs in the West. Just plenty of NCAA tournaments, plenty of success.
And that loss was to Nevada, and that's back when Nevada was flirting top 25 every year. Nick Fazekas and
They want to put 2 players in the NBA.
Yeah. And there was a lot of talent on that Nevada team. Biggest lead right now for the Aggies. And a foul before the break was on Deshaun King, not Jermaine Haley. Jalen Penny in for the first time for the Aggies, and Kyle Stewart is fouled as he surges towards the cylinder. How about Jalen Penny this season? Last season, Jalen Penny was 3rd on the team in scoring. This year, his role's been limited big time. Hasn't played much.
Nobody's handled it well, and he's another one, he's another one that I think that the Aggies are going to need him before the end of the year, and so I hope he continues to keep his head up. He's actually a very similar player in some ways to Jamario Jones. He's a little better 3-point shooter, but just an active kind of no-position player. But who would have counted on Jamario Jones coming and taking Las Cruces by storm?
Well, I feel like, too, whenever an assistant coach in a program moves over to be the head coach, typically the same guys play. There's not a whole lot of jobs open within the team, but when Paul Weir took the head coaching gig, as Eli Chua sends it in and one. When Paul Weir got the job, nothing was set in stone as far as positions. Everybody had to fight for their job, and even though Paul Weir essentially just moved one chair over, it was healthy, open competition.
That's right. And Jalen Penny, it's not over with yet. I mean, if we just let's look at Lavelle Boyd, who, Missouri Kansas City's player, who averaged 3 points a game in junior college as a freshman and is now one of the leading scorers in the country. I mean, everyone has room for improvement, and I think Jalen Penny's attitude has been good throughout this, and I do think he'll be a factor. They've got to go play 3 games in 3 days to win the WAC tournament, and if somebody gets hurt, somebody gets in foul trouble, and somebody gets the flu, and suddenly Jalen Penny could be out there for 35 minutes. So he'd better remain ready. That's my pep talk. And you better remain ready too.
That's your coach's talk, right?
That's right.
Adam Young, Russ Bradford with you. Deshaun King lost it again, and it goes back to the Aggies with 6:17 left to play. Our director is Vinny Conway. Our producer is Patrick Walters. Chris Schnurr, Lorenzo Aguilera, our entire crew. We thank you for watching tonight. NM State is on a 10-0 run over the previous 1 minute plus. Almost 2 minutes in this run. Wilkins reverses it to Haley. Now in the corner for Jalen Penny. Tipped away out of bounds, and it will stay with the Aggies. Big lead here, 82-56. Now in the first meeting in Kansas City just over 2 weeks ago, it was a 13-point win for the Aggies. This one could be a little larger.
Well, it's a tough place to play, and when there's 10,000 people here tonight, and it's been just very, very raucous. Whoop.
Offensive foul down low on Chua, holding off on the defender. High-low feed there by Wilkins, clanked off the backboard. I think Chua would have caught it, though, had the foul not been called.
Might have, or could have got it off the board.
Yeah.
That's veteran official Ronnie Hernandez, the longtime El Paso native, just one of the most respected officials in the country. So it must have been the right call.
And M State has outscored UMKC by 13 in this half. They have shot 65% from the field here in half two. Rouge scoreless in the previous 2.5 minutes. Newbill was trying to stuff it in, but he's fouled there by Jonathan Wilkins.
Well, Newbill, Broderick Newbill, the Fresno transfer, playing hard, and he's a little bit frustrated. They're down quite a bit here.
At the line for UMKC number 25, Broderick Newbill.
And the fans will give him an earful. But I like this. I'm happy that that's one of the things I've noticed about Kareem Richardson's team in the last 4 years is how they refuse to quit.
They play a lot of freshmen. Dwayne Clark, who you saw right there. Xavier Bishop, only a freshman. We've seen Jordan Giles. We've seen a lot of Isaiah Ross here tonight. So a lot of freshmen for UMKC. Having to play right away. Big night for Baker. Skips it to Haley. Spins off. Jalen Penny, though, right there for the stick in.
Well, that's why, he's actually somewhat similar to Jamario Jones. He's active and no position and long and lean.
Boyd to King. Lost it, regained it, and spins it through. So Sean King now has 4, right at his season average. Eli Chua's in, even though he has 4 personals, and Jermaine Haley tripped up as he tries to split 2 defenders. Boyd and Stewart right there.
Well, Jermaine Haley's just such a matchup problem. He's 6'7" or 6'8", long arm, quick and smart, and he's only a freshman. If New Mexico State basketball was a stock, if we could get on the stock market, I think I'd put every nickel that I own into it. I just think the future looks great, and I think they'll really miss Ian Baker in ways that we don't quite understand yet. But the future sure looks good at New Mexico State.
And they're getting some really big-time talent. Jermaine Haley, coach, was a 4- or 5-star recruit by all the scouts. Originally committed to Washington, was supposed to be a Pac-12 player, and now he's here at New Mexico State, a 6'7" guard who's battled a ton of injuries the last couple of seasons, but now he's healthy and he's playing well. And his father played in the NFL for a number of years for the Redskins and the Dolphins. That foul is on Chua. It was Wilkins with 4, not Chua, so the third on Eli Chua. Wilkins in with 4.
Well, we may see Tanvir Bular tonight, too.
Maybe way short on his free throw. Only 2 players active on the Aggie bench that haven't seen action, Bular and Chance Ellis. Everybody else is playing. Lead for the Aggies cut to 24. For UMKC, they're going to take on Grand Canyon Thursday, and Grand Canyon on the ropes right now. They're playing Seattle at home, and at last check with 3 minutes left to go, Grand Canyon was down 2. So Seattle may get a really big win tonight on the road in Phoenix. And right now, Grand Canyon leads by 4, so they're making a comeback with 1:25 left, trying to hold on at home. Chua finds Haley. Garza's wide open in the opposite corner, but they could not find him. Haley maneuvers around defenders, and he'll get free throw.
Pretty great body control. He looked like he was going to go to the far side of the rim, and he sort of angled back in the midst of the drive and drew the foul.
You have so many advantages if you're a 6'7" guard that can move like that.
Well, that's right. And just square shoulders. He's going to get stronger. Look at that frame. He'll get stronger in the weight room with the terrific weight coaches that the Aggies have. It just creates a lot of problems for these opposing coaches who come in here. You know, they're just up against it. The Aggies have so many weapons, and they're so unselfish is the key.
Haley drops in 1 of 2. We approach 4 minutes left to go. Bench is alive and active for the Aggies here in the final stages. Gil Garza picks up Roderick Robinson. Bishop to Stewart. New Bill was curling. Penny met him. There's Bishop again. 5'8" versus 6'7" in that matchup there on the opposite wing. Back out to Bishop. 6 to shoot for Xavier Bishop. Flips it with the right hand. Shua can't corral it. Picked up by Stewart. With a fresh 30 for UMKC. Bishop over 2 defenders with the off right hand.
Well, he's used to, he uses his right hand unbelievably well, but he's used to shooting over big guys since the time he's probably in 8th grade. So it's no, he's not, he has no fear of the bigger players.
No look feed for Penny, who muscles it home with 2 hands.
Well, and we've said it a couple times, and I think the Aggies are going to need Jalen Penny before the end of the year, and so it's good to see him get meaningful minutes here and to play well.
Chance Ellis will check in for the Aggies' next chance, and here's his chance. Dead ball with 3:04 to go. So Chance Ellis is in. When we come back from this break, the Aggies starting to empty their bench. Big lead for NM State, in position for their 16th straight win. And Jalen Penny's playing a role. Look at this pass. No look feed, Jermaine Haley, and the Aggies lead by 23. Tonight, 26. UMKC has not led. 88-65. NM State trying to go to 18-2. And win their 16th in a row, also their 22nd consecutive home win, if they can hang on here. Chance Ellis is in for the first time for head coach Paul Weir. Tanvir Bular is also in for the first time, and Tanvir did not play in both games last week. Chance Ellis this season has only played in 7 games. Ellis, a sharpshooter, transfer in from New Mexico Military Institute. Originally from Queens, New York, and Tanvir Bular was a starter at times last year. And his first game this season, he played great in the pits in Albuquerque.
Well, I think there's still a future for Tanvir Bular if he'll keep working and be patient.
Haley finds Garza, who streaks ahead. First 2 tonight for Joe.
Just another great pass by Jermaine Haley, and he could have easily shot that, but Joe Garza had a better shot.
Now this is technically your 2nd string, but this is a pretty good 2nd string, isn't it?
That's right.
Haley, Garza, Bular, Penny, and Ellis for the Aggies. Long on the 3 for Boyd. Bishop can't save it. And the Aggies will have it. Says a lot about your bench when you only have 2 players that really don't see action. And even so, Tanvir Bular will play every once in a while. We saw Chance Ellis some early on this year in some big minutes.
Well, just a great night for the Aggies, honoring Sean Harrington at halftime, doing the fundraiser, and then just pounding Missouri, Kansas City.
Bular boxed out there by Stewart after his miss. Bishop to the trailer Boyd, a step in 3, long again. And Bular grabs the board and has it tipped away and stolen. Stewart fouled by Garza.
Well, if Tanvir's going to rebound like that, that's great, but he probably shouldn't take off dribbling with it. Just often where a big guy gets himself in trouble is dribbling. It's actually one of Simbular's few faults when he's here. Occasionally he'd dribble it when he shouldn't. So Tanvir a little bit frustrated there, but I think he still has a bright future with the Aggies.
And if he looks different, he should, because he slimmed down about 50 pounds in the offseason. He's listed this year at 275, and he was well over 300 at a playing weight last season. One of the things that Paul Weir did a great job in the offseason leading up to the first game this year was get these guys in the best shape of their lives.
Well,
conditioning was a huge part of what they did leading up to the first couple practices, and Tanvir Bular got in the best shape of his life. Possession arrow goes to the Aggies.
And Adam, I'm going to read that address if Aggie fans want to help out Sean Harrington. His enormous medical expenses since the shooting that left him paralyzed. He saves his daughter's life. Citizens Bank at 1815 Wells Street. Citizens Bank, 1815 Wells Street, Las Cruces, New Mexico, 88003 to help Sean Harrington. And he'll be featured on HBO's Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel Tuesday night.
And he's still coaching at Marshall, so he's
unbelievable, just incredible, just emotional resilience and upbeat. And I don't know how he does it. I'm sure he had some pretty bleak days, but there he is, Sean Harrington, who led the Aggies in scoring, steals, and assists in 1995-96 until he blew out his knee. Got his degree, went home to Chicago, went back to Marshall High School to teach. Just a terrible case of mistaken identity, 7 in the morning. But saves his daughter's life in a really dramatic and inspiring story. His daughter now a freshman, an A student at Illinois State University.
And that was a cool article in the Las Cruces Sun News, and they mentioned about his daughter being a scholarship student too, right, at Illinois State. Jalen Penny again.
That's right, she's on an academic scholarship at Illinois State. And there's Tanvir Bular, comes through with that rebound, did not dribble it, took my advice. I'm often wrong, as you know, Adam, but I think I was right on that one, that Tanvir shouldn't be dribbling it much.
The Aggies closing in on 100. Might be too late, though. Bishop right there. Nobody around him, and it's 92-71. So the Aggies are going to improve to 18-2. They're going to win their 16th in a row, and their 22nd in a row at home. Also their 38th in a row in home league games.
And even with the game one, there is no ball hog on the Aggies. They're totally sharing the ball, moving the ball, passing the ball. Great pass by Tanvir Bular to Jalen Penny.
Jalen Penny has 8.
Well, that's what I mean. Is I think that he's gonna be a factor before it's over, and it might be at the WAC tournament when somebody gets hurt, somebody gets in foul trouble, or somebody, God forbid, misses curfew, or doesn't do their English department homework.
Right. And if you want to look for a quiet, bright spot late, Jalen Penny scored 8 points there in just 7 minutes on 4 of 4 shooting. Certainly some confidence for him. And in front of nearly 10,000 fans at the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces, Paul Weir and the Aggies make it 16 straight wins.
And I think that ties Lou Henson's high mark for Aggie wins in a row, doesn't it?
Not a bad person to be associated with.
Well, that's right, and I know Paul spent a lot of time with Lou Henson all year, and why wouldn't you? Just really, what an exciting time to be a New Mexico State fan. Great time to be in Las Cruces. It's not just the great weather and the great food and the great university. It's also the winning basketball, and what a fun team to watch.
Paul Weir heading to talk to Sean Harrington here on Sean Harrington Night, and the Aggies played well in front of the former Aggie, Sean Harrington. 94-71, the final score, and we're going to be joined here by Paul Weir momentarily. The Aggies ended up shooting 54% for the field, and in half number 2, the Aggies shot 64%, so NM State an outstanding job. And the players will celebrate with the student section after this 94-71 win. Adam Young joined right now by the head coach, Paul Weir, after this victory for his Aggies. Coach, congrats on the win. I saw you talking to Sean Harrington. Cool night to have Sean here and for him to be honored at halftime, wasn't it?
No question. You're only as strong as the people that came before you, you know, and we have such an amazing history here, tradition of basketball, great players. Sean's obviously one of many, and to have him here and obviously honor him is terrific. We saw him in Chicago. We'll have him up in the locker room now. You know, once an Aggie, always an Aggie, so it's great to have him here.
Great job by your team. 94 points in this one. Second half shooting well over 60%. And, Coach, the theme has stayed the same. Somebody else steps up every single night.
Yeah, that's the idea. Offensively, we're in a pretty good groove. We're sharing the ball. Defensively, wasn't great tonight. We have to improve on that end, especially our defensive rebounding. So there's work to do there. But offensively, we were clicking pretty much all night long. I thought we were in a good rhythm. Even in the first half, we missed a lot of layups. So we're getting really good looks at the rim right now. We just have to clean up the defensive end.
How about the job that Jonathan Wilkins did? He got his season high about 18 minutes into the game.
Yeah, no, John is a tremendous shooter, always has been. It's confidence with John. It's just his own sense of security, and we're in him every single day trying to get him to break out of whatever holds him back. And it's good to see him have that and come out and shoot like that. We need him to shoot for our offense to really take another step.
Coach, congrats on the win.
Thanks, man.
Head coach Paul Weir, NM State victorious, 94-71. They have now won 16 in a row, tied for the third longest win streak in the country. Post-game activities are next.